What up, folks? I'm Ultrazillatoys, and today I have a review of the SH Monsterarts Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire Shimo from Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire, of course. That's right, my zillions. The big bad Frost Queen Titan Kaiju is here. And you might have seen it already on my unboxing video. Thank you for checking that out if you did, and if you have returned for more Shimo action, for a more in-depth look at everything we got here. I cannot close this box, by the way. I don't know what it is with some of these SH Monsterarts boxes, but I always have a difficult time. I just want to toss them all in the garbage. I do. I'm not gonna lie. The boxes always just annoy me. Anywho, here it is. This figure does not come with any accessories, but it does come with an extra head for Kong with his new tooth. That's right, from the movie. Spoilers, sorry. But anywho, I got mine at Hobby Genki. It is a P Bandai exclusive in Japan, so you're either going with a middleman, as I did, or you are going with like a Zen Market, and you gotta get the link from P Bandai, which they don't make easy anymore. And you know, there's ways to do it, but it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But anywho, that's neither here nor there, because I didn't choose that route. I did choose Hobby Genki, like I did with Scar King. It was right there, and it was easy. I paid a few extra bucks more for the middleman service, but whatevs. It wasn't like you're paying a lot already. It's like whatever at this point. They sent it via FedEx, which worked out fine. It did take a little while for processing within Hobby Genki, so that's always, you know, not always, but it's lately been an issue with them, like 7 days of processing, it felt like. So that's not great. But otherwise, I do like the service altogether, and I do like the shop, so it is what it is. But anywho, without any further ado, let's just get to this review. And here is Shimo out of the package, but before we get to her, let's take a look, like we did in the unboxing, first at the extra head for Kong. This is, you know, the gray bearded version of this head, and we've seen this head before. Here it is. It is the same head. But the real addition here is the gold tooth. I mean, it's this, and then the tooth. Well, silver tooth, right? It's silver and gold. But yeah, silver tooth right there. I don't know why they just didn't give that to us with the regular Kong. I mean, they could have done that, but you know, they gave us reasons to get the other figures. Not that if you're collecting this line, you weren't going to get the other figures anyway. So either way, whatevs. That's how they did it. But there it is. It's fine overall. There's nothing crazy different here. Again, you get the beard. It matches, and now it's got the beast glove and the toothy one. We do have like a screaming head to come with the tooth. That's going to be in the Mothra and Suko set, so that's be out in a few months. But anywho, on to Shimo, and she is a pretty awesome. I really like this piece overall. It was one of my more anticipated pieces of the year. They did base this on the concept art of Shimo, so it's not exactly like what you see on screen, but I think they did a really spectacular job here. There is a beautiful pearlescent paint on this figure all around, and it is a really nice looking. I mean, like, gorgeous. I do have a few problems, though, when we will talk about it, and we'll talk about it right now. Now, again, if you saw my unboxing, this fin here, I'll call them fins, or spikes, whatever, crystal thing, tail spike, was out in the box, like it had come out. It is a clear, translucent plastic, and they all look really good. They're actually kind of like purplish. It's a little bit different than the spikes here. They're more like a purple, and they're soft, actually. which is very interesting from Monsterarts. Now, 3 of the 4 are really, really well put in. This one, for whatever reason, and I think it's because it's a soft plastic, it just pops out easy. It's probably like misshapen just a bit. So I'm gonna have to do something about that, but it does pop out rather easy, unfortunately for me. Yeah, but I think that's a... Oh, and I just knocked out the entire tail. It is ball jointed, but maybe that would be easier to put back on. Yeah, so, you know, it's one of those things where... Oh, no. Nah, see? It's loose. It's loose on the joint, and that's probably, you know, due to some sort of warping here. So it's going to need a little bit of, like, something in there to make it stay better. I'm thinking maybe... I don't know. See, the problem is... this plastic is very thin and soft, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to use yet, but I'll use some sort of thickener that's clear, you know. That'll be the best way to go. I haven't had too much trouble with popping out of joints like you just saw now, but this thing, yeah, that thing pops out on me. I don't know if I popped the joint back in very well, but yeah, you know, tails pop out on you. So that's one thing. The other thing is, you know, it's supposed to stand good, but my joint here, like, feels like it's a little bit loose. Very, very top heavy, so it's probably a hard thing to do anyway for anyone. Because look how, you know, you're really going to have to finagle this in order to get it... I did it now, see? Hey, there you are. There you are, Shimo. But yeah, so you can do it. You're just going to have to finagle it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do the upright pose, which is not like too much of a thing, but, you know, should you want to do it, you're going to have to finagle it just a bit. My final issue is, I don't know if anybody else has encountered this. I haven't watched anybody else's review or anything. But I am getting a few little nicks in the paint. I have one at the top of the head here. I don't know if you can, how well you can see it. It depends on the light. It looks like it might just be part of it, but it's not. There's a paint little nick right there. And then there's one at the tail right here. See that? Right there. And then the worst one, unfortunately, is here. It looks like the paint got stuck. And you can't see it yet because it's underneath, which is a good thing. You can hide it. But it looks like the paint got stuck underneath this joint. So when you lean it forward, you do get that paint gash right there. See that? It goes from here to there. So if you're doing something where you need it as, you know, whole leg leaning forward on the joint, you are going to see that. I mean, not you, me, I'm going to see that. This is not going to be, none of these are going to be, you know, line wide at all. This is one of those things where, you know, individual results are going to vary on that in particular, because that's like anything could, you know, nick paint, you know what I'm saying? So that's not really a QC issue. It's more of a, you know, situational issue, depending on packing and whatnot. And, you know, if the paint was like super dry in spots, you know, like, you know, that's why a lot of times Tamashii products will, you know, have a note that says, watch paint, you know, for paint rub. Again, you can't really see it most of the time. It's in an area that's going to be underneath. You can see it when you do that. And I do plan on trying to fix all of these little nicks. Luckily, this is mostly in white. There is pearlescence to it. I do have some pearlescence here that I could use on top of that. So I will try to fix them. They're not like, this is the only one that's kind of major, and again, it's like way underneath here. So, I mean, even if I fix it, it might happen again, but we'll see. But those are the 3 that I have found thus far. Are there more paint nicks? I don't know. Could be, you know, when you move in the joints, you might have something. But, you know, I've tried to move most joints and I haven't seen any, you know, besides that one in the joint. And then, you know, there's 2 little dots. I mean, it's the 2 little dots thing isn't the most major thing, but I had to point them out, you know, because as a warning to anybody that's getting this, you know, base price here in the US is $240, and then, you know, shipping or whatever, taxes and stuff, you know. And if you're importing it like I did, you're gonna end up paying, you know, even more so. So, you know, like, yeah, it's one of those things you don't want to happen at all. And if it was those 2 little dots, I probably wouldn't even mention it. But that one I had to mention because it was obviously, it got stuck in there and scraped the paint. So it's unfortunate. You don't want it to happen to expensive toys, but it happens all over the place. Like, it just is one of those things. Again, unfortunate incidents here, and not really a QC thing, you know. So it is what it is. You know, I can't do anything about it but try to fix those. Again, none, even this over here, because it's underneath, it's not, you know, noticeable and major. So, but I did want to mention it. Anywho, let's start looking at Shimo. She looks awesome otherwise. I really, really like her. You know, again, concept art is what we're dealing with here mostly, but it looks gorgeous. It's like so pretty. The sculpt is tremendous. I love it. Look at these feet. The nails are perfectly black. Very nice. Scooties on there. Again, you could see, I hope you could see the pearlescence of this figure shining through. It is so good looking. There's hues of blues all over the place. Yeah, for anybody that was like poo-pooing on that, yeah, shame on you. Because this looks absolutely gorgeous. The bottom of the feet look great in the front here. Beautiful. I mean, look at all of this sculpt work. It is awesome looking. You know, and you got like floating pieces. It's an SH Monsterarts. It looks amazing. And, you know, in a lot of the spots, you see a lot of the shininess of the pearlescent paint that's over it. There's like hues of blues and purples, and it just looks so good, guys. Really, really good. I love the legs. I love this part right here. Like, it's like really, really small. You know, sculpting in there. Really, really nicely done. Excellent. Here's the other leg, front leg. Looking fantastic. Let's go to the back legs. Again, yeah, you can see that like sheen of purple. See, glaring in the light. Really, really nice. Beautifully done, honestly. And you got this foot here, scooties on that. The bottom of these feet. Looks really good. There's this leg. It's even painted on the inside. The pearlescent paint. Really, really well done, guys. Very, very, very well done. And that's the other leg there. I like how, you know, I forget what this is called when it does that, but that, you know, raised ankle type of deal on the hind legs. Yeah, it looks good. You know, the legs are awesome. Moving to the underbelly here, you can really see the blue on there. It's really cool. And again, this pearlescence throughout here on this plating that goes down the middle. The ribs have it as well, and then more blue surrounds that. I love that. I just really, really like how it looks. Really very, very well done. There it is on the side here. The main body. You see it's all segmented, which is excellent. Very nicely done. Check out the other side. Then moving up. This is interesting that this is a floating piece up here. You see the nice crystals the crystal dorsal fins that look amazing. Really, really nice. I love them. Frosty looking. Excellent throughout. The small ones, the big ones, they just look exactly what they're supposed to be, and that's very well done. All the way to the back here. There's an overhead shot. How they look. And they all go straight down the tail. This nice, you know, cool blue. They actually kind of get a little purple as you get further down, which is interesting. I like that. And then, like I said, you know, these at the tail are more like bluish purple. And then you can see this like last bit here is very, very, very purple. Very purple there. And then this last segment here is totally clear. And that has purple hue as well. Here's what the bottom of the tail looks like. Really nice. Again, these fins look pretty good. They are soft plastic, so again, do be careful, especially if you have that issue like I do on one of them. But yeah, the body is excellent on Shimo. And we go up to the neck here. You got little dorsals, but the neck looks really great too. Beautiful sculpt. Looks excellent. I love the edges. Very nicely done. And then we got the head sculpt, which her hair or crown, whatever you want to call it, looks real nice. Again, that beautiful translucent blue is excellent. I love it. I love all the spikes. I like the two big spikes. It's just very, very well done. And then we get further down the head. The eyes look really good. See that one very well. Here is this one. This looks really cool. There is a bit of paint around the eyes. And then the nose has the same bit of paint. I do have the paint more. Do I not have paint on one side, or is that? Oh yeah, it's there. There. See that kind of like, it's kind of like this, but it's very faint. It's around the eyes. I have it more on this side, but maybe the paint, I can't tell. Like, I'm super zoomed in, and it looks almost like the paint is messed up there. Is it? I guess so. I mean, with my naked eye, I can't make that out. But I do see a little bit of that paint there too. So I can't tell if one of my eyes just doesn't have it there. Oh, wait. Or I have too much on this side. Or there's like a break in the paint there. No, I think that's how it's supposed to be. See that? I think maybe I'm missing some on this side. It's there. Yeah, you can see it. It's there. It's around. Oh yeah, you can see it better like this. It's there, but it's not as pronounced as this. But either way, let me zoom back. And that would be like normal. I can't make it out at all. Like, at all. So yeah, that's a bit of an interesting thing. And then you got the nose slits, which are also in that same color. That's why it made me go like, I think that's supposed to be there, because the nose slits are the same color paint, and those look good. And then the mouth, I guess it's the same color that's inside the mouth. The tongue looks pretty good. You can see inside the mouth, if I could get it open, it's painted pretty well. There's a couple different colors in there, which looks really good. And then the teeth look pretty good on mine. I do like it. Yeah, excellent. Really, really nice. So all in all, and then, you know, again, there's that little thing over here. Where is it? Yeah, you can see it better. Little slit in the paint right there. Zoomed in, but it's very, very faint. And I feel like the more I played around with it, I kind of sort of covered the hole or something. I don't know. It's there. Yeah, it's right there. But it's not that big of a deal. The eye thing threw me off for a second, but I just think, you know, maybe one side it has a little more than the other. And, I mean, the corners of my eyes don't look exactly the same either. So I could let that go because it's not really a big deal. I can't really make it out. But I don't really consider that a problem. But, yeah, the rest of it is really, really good. I really like it a lot looks-wise. She looks excellent. Yeah, that pearlescent paint is just wild. It's really, really good. Really dig that. So I'm going to say this figure looks pretty spectacular overall. And for the articulation on this figure, the tongue does move in there. Let's start there. Movement of tongue. The jaw opens. Then you got the top head joint. And then all the neck joints, which move pretty good. The shoulders. The bicep. This is like a butterfly joint up here, by the way. And then you do have the knee joint, forward, back. And then the lower part as well. And then the ankle. On the back legs. Kind of similar item going on there. So you got the foot joint here. Foot joint here as well, by the way. Which works pretty good. Lots of joints. Then the body moves as we saw in there, but also at the upper part as well. And this moves out of your way. So you could get some decent, you know, movement. Turn this guy around a little bit, which is cool. And then you got all the tail joints, which move nice. I mean, it's not like it's very articulated, but I feel like it's not like the greatest of all the SH Monsterarts movements. And then, as you saw, we have these guys over here. You know, that move as well, but they are a little sensitive. So a lot of articulation, obviously, out of a Shimo here. And for size comparisons, here is Shimo with the rest of the SH Monsterarts crew. I think Godzilla and Kong look pretty decent with Shimo. I feel like Scar King looks a little bit too big, and I think that's probably the problem with Scar King overall. If there's a problem, is it feels really, really big. Like when you put Kong on her, it's actually not that bad, but Scar King feels a little bit big, you know what I'm saying? Here it is with, let's bring in some Playmates, because we have a few that are hanging about here, including our Suko, which I like. If you get the Suko, maybe you don't need the other Suko. But, yeah, I don't know. These guys go well together, too. And speaking of Playmates, here it is with the giant Shimo, which I think is a pretty good one for Scar King. Like, I do. I feel like this fits better than that in a lot of ways. But yeah, you know, there you go. The two in question, done from the concept art, and they're both pretty good. And for those wondering, here is Shimo with the two Kongs from Haya. And my final thoughts, I think Shimo turned out pretty spectacular, honestly, overall. My little issues notwithstanding, like, this is an amazing figure. The engineering is impeccable, as always. It's just like the way it moves, no figures move like this. The plastic quality, and I mentioned this in the review itself, But as always, the plastic quality is what brings me back to SH Monsterarts. Feels so good. You could feel, and it is like a more expensive plastic than like some other companies use. Like plastic worth, it isn't measured in its weight. It's not like die-cast. Like die-cast figures, the more die-cast, the heavier it is, but also the more expensive it is. Not the case with plastic. With plastic, there's a lot of different plastics that can be used, and they're all priced differently. Like there is some plastics that are heavier that are much cheaper. See Hayatoys, see NECA before that, see Super 7. The plastics they use is a thicker, heavier plastic, but it doesn't cost as much. This is a more delicate plastic. It's more conducive to the type of engineering that Tamashii likes to do, and it's more expensive. And I always love that, and that's why, like, as much as folks argue that SH Monsterarts aren't worth it, I argue back against it because the plastic quality is more expensive. So that's what you're paying for, guys. And it's that in the engineering. It's really good, and this figure looks incredible. Like, I love it. The sculpt is fantastic. The pearlescence and paint on this figure is understated and amazing. It just looks so good. Like, once you see it in person, once you get it in hand, that like pearlescent sheen is spectacular. I love the dorsal fins. I think they turned out really, really good. Not so sure about those tail like fins, the little soft plastic they used in that. As you saw, like, one of them kind of is a little warped on me. I'm gonna fix that. I'll tighten it up a little bit, but I wish they weren't that, because I think that's what's warping it, is that type of plastic. See, different plastics, sometimes they don't work out. But overall, this is awesome. Yeah, I have a few little like nicks as well. Not really a QC issue, more of a circumstance issue. So I don't expect a lot of folks to have the exact same issues I have. Unfortunate here because it got stuck. And just scratched the paint a little bit there. The other two marks, are they even worth talking about? I don't really think they are. And then the eye thing I was mentioning before, like, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, yeah, it really is on both sides. It just goes a little around the edge of the eye, and it's not, it's a little bit more on one side, but like to the naked eye, I can't really see it. So if you can't see it, it's not really an issue. Like, super zoomed in sometimes on camera is like, it steers us in the wrong direction, because honestly, personally, if you can't see it with your naked eye, like, it's not really an issue. So, I'm not going to nitpick over that, because I don't think that's a real issue. Otherwise, this figure is awesome, and despite the price, and it is pricey, I really, really like it. And there you have it, guys. That is my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection. Until next time, peace out, peeps.